Welcome to the Maine Health Center for Tobacco Independence Training and Education Team's additional media offering. For this quarter's Soundbite, we are going to be chatting about tobacco use and diabetes. My name is May LaRue, and I am the Program Management Specialist on the Training and Education Team here at the Maine Health Center for Tobacco Independence. Most of us probably know what diabetes is, but we may not be aware of the relationship between tobacco use and diabetes. Listen in to learn more about the disease and how using tobacco products can impact its course. According to the World Health Organization, diabetes is a chronic disease that occurs either when the pancreas does not produce enough insulin or when the body cannot effectively use the insulin it produces. For the purpose of this soundbite, we will focus on two types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. The Mayo Clinic explains that type 1 diabetes, once known as juvenile diabetes or insulin-dependent diabetes, is a chronic condition. In this condition, the pancreas makes little or no insulin. Insulin is a hormone that the body uses to allow sugar to enter cells to produce energy. We know that type 1 diabetes typically shows during childhood, but adults can develop it too. Type 1 diabetes has no cure, and treatment is focused on managing blood sugar through the use of insulin. Diet and lifestyle modifications can also help. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say that type 1 diabetes is thought to be caused by an autoimmune reaction. This reaction destroys the cells in the pancreas that make insulin, called beta cells. This process can go on for months or years before any symptoms appear. Symptoms of type 1 diabetes may include frequent urination, excessive thirst, extreme hunger and fatigue, and blurred vision, among others. Some of the complications of type 1 diabetes include high blood pressure, kidney damage leading to failure, gum disease, and cataracts. On the other hand, the Cleveland Clinic says that type 2 diabetes is a chronic condition that happens when you have persistently high blood sugar levels, and that type 2 diabetes happens because your pancreas doesn't make enough insulin, your body doesn't use insulin properly, or both. As we've learned, this is different from type 1 diabetes, which happens when an autoimmune attack on your pancreas results in a total lack of insulin production. Symptoms of type 2 diabetes may include unexplained weight loss, numbness in hands or feet, dry skin, and excessive thirst. Type 2 diabetes cannot be cured, but it can be managed through lifestyle changes, blood sugar monitoring, and medication. Complications of type 2 diabetes include various cardiovascular issues such as heart attack and stroke, eye issues such as glaucoma and blindness, and other conditions such as neuropathy and foot infections. Statistics-wise, per the American Diabetes Association, in 2021, 38.4 million Americans, or 11.6% of the population, had diabetes, with 2 million of those Americans having type 1 diabetes, including about 304,000 children and adolescents. Each year, 1.2 million Americans are diagnosed with diabetes. Further, about 352,000 Americans under age 20 are estimated to have diagnosed diabetes, which is approximately 0.35% of that population. Alarmingly, by 2045, the International Diabetes Federation predicts that 1 in 8 adults, approximately 783 million, will be living with diabetes, which is an increase of 46%. Over 90% of people with diabetes have type 2. Diabetes also has a huge economic impact on the healthcare system. In 2022, the total cost of diagnosed diabetes in the United States was $412.9 billion, $306.6 billion of which was for direct medical costs. According to a study in the Diabetes Care Journal titled Economic Costs of Diabetes in the U.S. in 2022, people diagnosed with diabetes, on average, have medical expenditures 2.6 times higher than what would be expected without diabetes. Now that we have a baseline understanding of diabetes, let's discuss the link between tobacco use and diabetes. We know that smoking can cause diabetes as well as make the condition harder to manage. The United States Food and Drug Administration reports that those who smoke have a 30 to 40% increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes than those who don't smoke. According to the FDA, smoking can cause diabetes by interfering with the normal function of your cells. The chemicals in cigarette smoke harm your body cells and can cause inflammation throughout the body, which may make your insulin less effective. Additionally, for those already with diabetes who use tobacco products, high levels of nicotine can make the body less responsive to insulin, thus increasing blood sugar levels. In turn, someone may need more insulin to regulate their blood sugar. Smoking with diabetes also exposes an individual to an increased risk of the serious health complications mentioned earlier in this episode. Interestingly, there is a connection between secondhand smoke and type 2 diabetes. Various research articles have been published finding that there is an increased risk to developing type 2 diabetes from secondhand smoke, and that the adverse health impacts of smoking while having diabetes can also negatively affect those exposed to secondhand smoke. Research has also found a link between other tobacco products such as e-cigarettes and the development of type 2 diabetes and harmful health outcomes. As providers, it is extremely important to use our motivational interviewing skills to help clients with diabetes understand the health benefits of quitting smoking. Quitting smoking can't get rid of diabetes for our clients, but it can help the body utilize insulin more effectively and control blood sugar levels. In fact, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says that insulin can become more effective at lowering blood sugar levels just 8 weeks after you quit smoking. That is all we have time for today. So in conclusion, I want to thank everyone for tuning in and listening to this soundbite about tobacco use and diabetes. I'd love for you to share what you'd like to hear about in the next soundbite. Please don't hesitate to reach out to the email on your screen and let me know what topic you'd like me to cover next. Don't forget to visit our website at ctimaine.org to learn more about the offerings of the training and education team. Take care.